As TikTok continues to become the most popular social media platform in the world, it only makes sense that a lot of companies would want to invest in creating TikTok-specific content.
My evil stepsister got me pregnant a night before my wedding. She wanted to marry my fiancé. My ruthless father threw me out of the house as punishment, and on the day of my delivery, he stole my baby boy and sold him for $1 billion.
What the hell was that? I feel like I just got hit by a truck. That was like a Darman video on steroids. Now, if you're wondering what the hell it is you just saw, this was Saving Nora, a live-action adaptation of the web novel / audiobook of the same name, produced by Pocket FM. To my knowledge, Pocket FM is an app that takes web novels and works with independent creators to create audiobook adaptations of their work. So in turn, they have created about a dozen live-action adaptations to promote these books and their app, and all of them are just as crazy as the clip you just saw, if not more.
What is wrong with you?
My daughter works her ass off to keep this house running, and all you do is eat and sleep. Get off your lazy ass and get a job, you worthless loser.
The man who was getting fired at home every day was actually the CEO of $1 billion company.
It kind of reminds me of that alpha werewolf TikTok show that every commentary YouTuber was talking about a couple months ago. And in case you were worried, Pocket FM has also created a werewolf show.
Who are you? What do you want? Oh my god. It's him, the alpha.
I need to talk about this. I feel like I'm going crazy because the past couple days I have done nothing but binge this content, mostly because these TikTok videos are 30 minutes long. Who makes 30-minute TikToks? That's psychopathic. It seems like when they create these live action adaptations, they film them in small chunks, which are great for sharing over social media. But for whatever reason, instead of creating 31-minute videos that can then easily circulate and people will watch the whole thing, they've instead created one 30-minute long video that is much harder to share and consume. Oh, sorry, did I say one 30-minute long video? I meant 300 30-minute long videos. They just keep releasing the same episode over and over again with minor changes. Sometimes they'll just rearrange the order of the clips so they start in different places, and sometimes they'll just change the voiceover lady to a different actress or text-to-speech.
Emma Miller found a positive pregnancy test in her fiancé's wash bag.
Emma Miller found a positive pregnancy test in her fiancé's wash bag.
At one point, they released the same episode, but they put a TikTok AI art filter over the entire thing. It's the exact same content. But that is just scratching the surface of this. Because to give you an idea of just how unhinged these stories are, I'm going to talk about My Vampire System, which has sort of become the poster child for this company, or at least those are the videos that I am getting served the most.
Dad showed me how to do this.
Fantastic, thank you. Quinn, you're up next.
Looks like it's my turn.
What the hell was that, Quinn?
Do you even have a special ability?
No, but my parents
Your parents what?
couldn't afford an ability book.
No powers and he's poor?
So in this world, every single human has a superpower except for our hero Quinn Talon, who has none. It's a very typical zero to hero young adult story. Because Quinn doesn't have any powers, he is terribly bullied in school. They tie his shoelaces together, they make fun of him for being extremely ripped, oh my god! And any chance they get, they'll start calling him Talentless Talon.
Talentless talent! Talentless talent! Talentless talent! Talentless talent! Talentless talent!
Now, the reason Quinn doesn't have a superpower is he was never given an ability book, which are magical objects that if you read, give you the powers. They're not born with them. It's sort of like how reading Wattpad as a child irreversibly changes your brain chemistry for the worse. But you also may be asking yourself, wait, why didn't Quinn's parents just give him an ability book like all the other kids? Well, aliens!
Aliens killed my parents, and I swear to hunt each one of them, one by one.
Yep, You heard that right. The story My Vampire System is actually about a planet of superheroes fighting alien invaders. Of course! Couldn't you tell from the title? But, you know, I'm getting ahead of myself. There are vampires in this story. Eventually, Quinn gets his hands on an ability book that turns him into a vampire. He finally has powers. So the rest of this story must be about Quinn taking revenge on his bullies, the people who have tortured him for so long, because now he's super powerful, right? Nope!
Quinn Talon?
Hello?
We've been waiting outside 5 minutes already.
What?
Don't play dumb with me. It's draft day, boy. Time for you to head to military school.
That's right. How could I forget? The war with the Dalki wiped out most of the population. Now, like every student age 16, I'm required to attend military school for 2 years.
The story hard pivots into now being about building up an army and training in the military while your best friend is creeping on your girlfriend and you're still a vampire. It feels like they're trying to fit way too many themes of superheroes, aliens, high school, bullies, being a loser, all into one thing. What in the Diverge Potter games is even going on here? Well, it turns out the audiobook they are trying to adapt is just insanely long. Pocket FM, the company that produces these live actions, is most known for adapting web novels, which are published by independent creators online. And so, unlike a company like Audible, which publishes audiobooks of published novels that released all at once, web novels work a little differently and will usually only publish a chapter at a time. And Pocket FM is the same way, just with an audio format. So every week, or maybe twice a week, they will release a new 5 to 10 minute chapter. And for My Vampire System, there are 2,300 chapters. That is insanely long! If they released this as a novel, it would be over 5,000 pages. And they tried to compress all of this into one 30-minute ad. So of course it feels rushed, but then I have to ask, why do this? In comparison, the whole Stepsis got me pregnant thing seems really grounded.
I'm telling you the truth, Dad. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Don't lie. I need to know who the father of the child is.
I don't know. He doesn't have a father.
Then you don't have a father either.
What? Nora was a virgin who got pregnant.
You know what? No, I take that all back. I have so many more questions. First off, why is everyone's voices text-to-speech? You had actors acting in this. Why did you dub them over? For the dad, it's especially obvious with some of these lines.
Mr. Gray, I'm begging you. There's been a mistake, but I'll take care of it.
Were the original actors' performances that bad that you felt the need to do this? That feels so disrespectful. Secondly, this woman is like 8 to 9 months pregnant already. You're telling me you're just now noticing and asking questions like, hey, who's the dad? The story explains that Nora is the daughter of a very wealthy businessman and she is currently engaged to the town's wealthiest bachelor as part of some business deal. But this whole pregnancy thing is throwing that for a loop, because when her fiance finds out she's pregnant, she's pretty upset considering they've never sort of gotten frisky.
There's been a mistake, but I'll take care of it.
It's too late. I've already made up my mind.
Anthony, listen.
And am I crazy? But I'm kind of on the fiance's side. Like, he could be a huge, terrible person, but in this instance, I don't think he did anything wrong. If you're celibate and your fiance suddenly turns up pregnant, I would have a lot of questions. What's the more believable story here? That you cheated on him, or that your stepsister somehow got you pregnant, I assume with like a turkey baster? And now that I think about it, whose seed did she use to impregnate her? Eventually though, the dad and fiance come to some sort of agreement.
Okay, I'll marry your daughter.
Anthony, that's beautiful.
Well, with one condition. You have to get rid of your child.
What? That's impossible.
I know.
Instead of supporting Nora, her father said something far crueler.
You'll have a baby, but we'll give it to a special orphanage.
No! That's horrible!
Which, once again, I think is kind of reasonable from his side. Like, there's not a villain here except for the stepsister with the turkey baster. All he's saying is that he's still willing to marry her, he just doesn't want to raise someone else's kids, which is very reasonable from his point of view. If that's a deal breaker for her, cool, just call off the wedding. Except she can't, because right then and there, she goes into labor, giving birth to twins. Her dad manages to steal the boy away while she gets the little girl and then goes into hiding for 9 years.
Mom, are we flying to the States to find my daddy?
I told you that you don't have a daddy.
But everyone has a father, and I should have one.
This conversation is over. Come on.
Aww, she has her grandpa's voice. After nearly a decade in hiding, Nora has somehow become a world-renowned doctor, yet she's going back to her family because she realized, oh yeah, I have a son. I should probably find him. I'm getting the vibe that all of the stories on this app are just gonna have some sort of power fantasy revenge story. You know, the type that's sort of like, oh, you treated me so badly when I was lame and had no powers and was ugly and pregnant, but now I'm hot and a doctor, a hot vampire doctor, shows you who to bully. And those stories are fine. They're not for me, but when I was in middle school, I probably would have eaten this up. The thing that I think is weird in all of this, outside of the cringy plots and really bad pacing, is the actual company itself, because they've made a lot of very strange and shady decisions. Like I said, dubbing over the original actors with text-to-speech feels really disrespectful to me, but to take it a step further, they use a lot of AI-generated images, not just in advertisements, but on the app itself. This is especially weird because my vampire system has a graphic novel adaptation. Why don't you just use those images instead of using AI generated ones? Personally, I'm never a fan of AI art, especially when it doesn't look good. I've also read a lot of reports online that some of the voice actors who have worked with Pocket FM were severely underpaid and treated very poorly. That would also explain why they're trying to move more into investing in AI voices and text-to-speech, but that also feels really bad. On the topic of Shady though, they also use a lot of content they don't have the rights to promote their stories. Like this clip just has Nathan Fillion in The Rookies, but they've dubbed it over to make it look like it's from their show. And this is just a frame from the anime Demon Slayer. But the creme de la creme, the crowning jewel that made me spit out my drink when I saw it, was this ad for Vampire System.
Hey, I'm not the strongest vampire in the world anymore. There's someone even more powerful than me.
Who is it?
His name is Quinn Talon.
Where is he right now?
Getting bullied in high school.
Twilight in 2024. God, at least they know who their target audience is. This would have killed in 2012. But you know what? Credit where credit's due. Nothing has piqued my interest about Pocket FM more than this ad. That's all I really have for you today. If you want me to cover more of these terrible live action adaptations, please let me know. I would love to do so. Or if you actually use Pocket FM, please tell me why you like it and what stories are good. Other than that, have a nice damn rest of y'all's day.